Hi everyone, I am Drelin Sinamukatkat from Beautifitted to Line 9 and the 9 Reporter. My topic for today was all about the gender spectrum and the gender identity. First, I will discuss the gender spectrum. What is gender spectrum? The gender spectrum is a conceptual framework that acknowledges and represents the diversity of gender identities beyond the traditional binary understanding of male and female. It is recognized that gender is not limited to just two categories, but rather exists along a continuum with a wide range of identities that go beyond the confines of men and women. On the gender spectrum, individuals can identify with a variety of gender identities that may not necessarily align with the sex they were assigned at birth. Of these identities include but are not limited to. The gender spectrum is a model and that recognizes and encompasses the diversity and complexity of gender identities. Beyond just being a male or a female, it allows individuals to identify and express their gender in various ways, including as non-binary, gender fluid, agender, and more. The gender spectrum acknowledges the wide range of identities and experiences that go beyond traditional binary understanding of gender and aims to be inclusive and respectful of all identities, including those that don't perfectly fit in predefined categories. The gender spectrum is a way of visualizing the gender identity as a range of possibilities rather than a binary of male or female. It is recognized that there is a wide range of gender identities and expression beyond just male and female, such as non-binary, gender fluid, and agender. The gender spectrum also challenges the idea that sex, the physical characteristic that define male and female, it is the same as gender. The social, cultural, and physiological characteristic that define male and female. The gender spectrum refers the idea that gender identity is not strictly limited to male or female, but rather exists on a continuum or spectrum in which people can identify at any point along the spectrum. Next, I will discuss the gender identity. The gender identity is a complex and multifaceted aspect of human physiology that revolves around an individual's profound internal sense of their own gender. This sense is deeply ingrained and is not contingent upon individual biological sex. It encompasses individuals' self-perception in relation to various gender categories, including but not limited to male, female, non-binary, and genderqueer, and more. This understanding of gender identity acknowledges that human experiences of gender are diverse and can't be rigidly categorized into binary frameworks. The gender identity as an innate and deeply ingrained sense of one's own gender. So, doesn't necessarily align with the sex typically associated with the sex assigned at birth. So, this means that the person's gender identity may match their biological sex, but it can also vary. An individual may identify as male, female, non-binary, genderqueer, or other identifies that don't fit within the traditional male-female binary. So it is a crucial recognize that an individual gender identity is deeply personal and inherent attribute that may or may not align with societal norms or the sex assigned at birth. So this internal sense of gender can play a profound role in shaping an individual's self-concept, influencing their self-esteem, physiological well-being, and how they related to the external world. So, the gender identities, it is refers that deep-seated sense of being male or female or anything in between or outside those categories. So, it's an inner sense that may or may not align with the sex assigned at birth. So, which influence how individuals perceive and express themselves. Recognize and respecting one's gender identity is a crucial for inclusivity and acceptance. So that's all.